Good evening,
guys.
Whew. We're short of breath. Y'all have to forgive us if we're hacking and coughing and all that. We're past the contagious stage, but we ain't there yet. Some days you have energy, some days you don't. So, but we wanted to see everybody, or y'all see us. I've gotten a few messages and folks were like, no, thank you, Two Family. Look, I got your shirt on. Woo! I almost had to socialize. Y'all, Two Family is now doing sublimation shirts, mugs, aprons, all kinds of things. So if you got something cool you want sublimated, hit Miss Sherry and Mr. Darryl up. Because they got it going on. Yeah, this shirt looks familiar, Darryl. It looks good. It's one of my new favorites. Instead, whew, that was close. Almost had to socialize. And we almost feel like that, too. We, battling that when we're past the quarantine time. And he got his antibodies test back and he's building antibodies and all that stuff. But we're still very nervous about when it's time to go out in public because we don't want to make anybody sick. What is it, Tracy? I see a guess what out there. What we got going on, girl?
Surprise.
Hey, Charles, 64th scale fun. Hey, Max. Got to shell peas? That's awesome. I've been looking with envy at your harvest. My garden went to pot during all this.
Hello, Brother Donnie.
Between the hail, the straight line winds, the drought, and then the tropical storm. Yeah. And then COVID.
We're hanging in there. At this stage, that's about all I can say. We're hanging in there.
Congratulations, Tracy. Y'all, Tracy at Moon Farms just had a baby girl.
All right.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
That's what you were wanting, wasn't it, the girl?
Oh, peanuts, pepper.
Hey, guys. Hey, Mr. Jack. Hey, Brett and Cindy. Back at Rootsteads, Brother Donnie, Renee, Cecilia, Mary Catherine.
Ooh, it feels like it's been forever since we've done one of these.
Yeah. Jen, you're going to be telling me to shut up next week. If I can get it to where we can get out. Hey, Donna Greenleaf.
One thing about 2 weeks
Hey, Mama Carolyn.
If
We are.
If you're like me, I'm usually gone every day of the week, job wise. And so sometimes you say, well, I'll be glad, I just wish I could stay home. Well, only thing about that 2 weeks confinement is that you at home, but you ain't allowed to go nowhere. So that is some long time.
And you don't feel like doing anything.
No.
So you think, well, I was thinking in the first couple days, I was thinking, okay, I'm good. I'm still doing stuff. I was out mowing grass and doing the things that need to be done. Even though he was sick, I was thinking, he's going to get over it pretty quick. And I'd have all kinds of projects I could get him to do since he was stuck here with me for at least the 14 to 20 days. Did not happen that way. Both of us lost all our energy, and the heat here is bad anyway, so you can't do a whole lot in the middle of the day. Sorry to hear that, Tracy. Take care of yourself. We're okay. We're weak, and we still have a lot of symptoms, but we're past that contagious stage. So, but anyway,
Yeah,
needless to say, all the things that I would have loved to have got done while he was home did not get done. The garden went to pot. I didn't finish all of the Clucker's cottage. I've got some video footage of it from before we got sick. I did not video during any of this. I just didn't have the energy to do it. So what I do put out whenever I get around to editing, it's gonna be a before the fact. Oh, I hear Mom coughing. Y'all, she's past the contagious stage 2, but she is still dealing with that cough. But I mean, we're talking about a bed patient, so it's a little harder.
But yeah,
So she
more or
gets
less,
chokey.
tonight, guys, that's what we decided, or Anna decided to do the live on is, I guess prior to
I'm gonna
this,
stick on her while he's talking.
if you hadn't been through it, you don't have a complete understanding, and even if you do go through it, you still don't have a complete understanding of it, but you have a lot better understanding of it, and in ways that not just through the sickness, how it affects you, but in all kind of ways that the virus will affect you in, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about some tonight, is just kind of let some of you guys know, and if you know somebody real close that's been through it, then you probably know some of these things already, but maybe some of you guys out there that don't know about this, and what we're going to talk about, and things that we experience, and kind of some of the ways that we feel. I've always said all along that I never did downplay the virus. I just, it was one of them things, well, if I get it, I get it. And kind of left it at that. But I had no idea in all the ways that it would affect you, not only physically, but it can affect you in a spiritual matter. It can affect you in a mental matter, in all sorts of ways. And we, so far, we've been blessed that it wasn't on the more severe side of things, but and I'm thankful for that. And but it can affect you in all kind of ways, and when you go through it, and nobody knows how long the side effects of this stuff can last. Some people get over it in a week or two, and they seem to go on, and you'll research and you'll read, and where some cases they go in for, some of them have been battling for 6 weeks, 2 months, several months, and some friends of ours from our job that actually got it, and some of the doctors are telling them that some of these side effect symptoms can go on for months. So it affects you, like I said, mentally in a lot of ways, and we're going to be discussing some of that tonight in this live stream, just to kind of give everybody, because there's so much out there today, and so much misinformation. You don't know what to believe. You don't know, you listen to this one, and you don't know if you need to listen to that one, and it's just coming from somebody that's actually going through it presently, and just listening to some of the things, and there's probably a lot more things that happen in people's lives that we may not discuss tonight, that we may not have faced, or that we may not have went through in certain situations and stuff like that. But we're going to talk about tonight just kind of some of the things of how it makes us feel, and what we think about, and maybe it'll be a help to somebody in the future. I hope and I pray that this stuff is over with. Today would be great. Right now would be great. And I pray that any of you guys that's listening, I hope that you never catch this. And by the Lord's mercy and grace, maybe you won't. But it's out there, and it is real. But it's something that I don't know. You hear severe cases and more severe cases. And all those things run through your mind too whenever you actually contracted the virus yourself. Maybe one day you start feeling good, and next day you feel okay, and then the next day all of a sudden the headache's back, pain's back, fatigue's back, and you wonder, well, what in the world? I thought I was on the mend. It constantly plays mind games with you. If I don't know no other way of putting it but that way.
Right.
And that's a big thing to get over with, and everybody knows that stress is not good. It can make any sickness worse. It can make you sick if you aren't sick, if you're under enough stress. But, and I think that plays in a factor of this stuff too, is the stress that goes along with it, thinking that you're here, you're confined, you feel isolated, you almost feel like the leopards in the Bible when they had to spread them on the outside of the city, they put them outside the city. Sometimes you feel like that. And you just feel like you're isolated, and everybody, all eyes are upon you. And so for what, several days there, we didn't say anything to anybody.
Probably the first couple.
It was several days that went by, maybe a week that went by, and that's part of it. It's just because of you just didn't want folks looking at you or had that mind frame of thinking, oh my God, stay away, and nobody wants it. Nobody wants to be sick. Nobody, wants to feel bad by no means. But I got to thinking today whenever Mimsy said we're going to talk this night tonight, and I got thinking today, that, like I said, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and there's not a lot of information that's coming out like we're doing tonight, like we're opening up and we're talking a little bit about it. There's not enough of that going on, I don't feel like. I feel like the more of it that people that has went through it or that are going through it, if they're able to talk about it and get on where others that are maybe entering into it or just starting out in it, or even that's had it for like us 2 or 3 weeks just going on, and to hear somebody else talk about it, and I think it does everybody good. It just kind of lifts your spirits and gives you an idea that, hey, look, yeah, this thing is bad, but hey, the recovery rate's pretty good. And just talk about some of the things. The Bible tells us this, to confess our sins to one another. Hey, if I'm weak, call my brother, let him know, hey, I'm weak, I need a little prayer today. Talk about it. Find somebody that you can confide in and talk about. Same thing with this stuff that's going on. That's run rampage over our nation as a whole, that affects so many people, everybody, global wide, it's affecting. And so I think it's a pretty good idea if you're able to get on live stream or something other and talk about it, so everybody else that may be going to face it or face it in the future, if that be the case, that can receive that strength from it and be lifted up from it. Hey, and saying, look, you're not the only one. And sometimes you feel that way. You're not, but sometimes mentally it just plays with your mind, and you feel that way. You feel like, oh my Lord, I'm the only one. Because you can't have any family around. I mean, you're just there.
They wanted us to isolate away from each other. But by the time he realized it was not Paul in 2020 and that he was really sick, I was sick. And Mom was sick.
And so
and then he went and got tested. And they were like, well, you need to isolate. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. We're already exposed. We're not going to separate ourselves like that. So that was the choice we made. He chose to go get tested and to go the medical route with the hydroxychloroquine, the zinc, the vitamin C. And I was already giving D3, quinine, and I was already using zinc. But they gave me prescriptions for that. Yeah. And azithromycin. I chose not to do that. I had Mom here. I knew I was sick. I knew I'd already exposed her. She was getting sick. And there was no way I was going to leave to go to a doctor's office or the hospital or anything else. And
we'll explain in a minute.
The VA had already told me that in the beginning of the pandemic that they were not allowed to come. She has a home-based practitioner that comes. But they were not allowed to come if she got sick enough to take her to the emergency room. She never got sick enough. We were sicker back in the fall, as far as struggling to breathe and stuff, than now. It's not been easy, but she and I, we went the natural route. For me, I did elderberry syrup. And yes, I know the government says don't do that. Well, in my opinion, if the government says it, it's probably backwards. That's just me. I did elderberry syrup. I did fire cider. vitamin D3 in large amounts now, vitamin C in large amounts, um, colloidal silver spray for the throat. I did that. And I even took aspirin alternated with a Tylenol for the fevers because my fever went right at 102. And he was like, if it goes to 102, you're going to the hospital. And I was like, Lord, don't let it be. And it got to under 1.8, and after that I quit checking it. I was like, I'm not checking it. He gonna make me go to the hospital, and I'm not. Because if something happened and I ended up in the hospital, then Mom would have had to go elsewhere, and I just wasn't gonna do that to her. In my thinking, there was no way I was gonna send her to a VA hospital because she's 100% disabled vet. That's what they would have required. And there was no way I was sending her to a nursing home and compromising her even more. Yes, she was compromised here, but she got care here that would not happen in those situations. So that was the route I chose for us. She's allergic to vitamin C, so I could not do that with her. I couldn't give her the fire cider. She's 81. Can you imagine an 81-year-old with stomach cancer or stomach issues taking fire cider? No, I couldn't do that to her. So we've used essential oils and things like that for her in the elderberry, the homemade elderberry that I get. I get my kits from Broussard's Homestead, and then Wendy at Hard Night Farms sent me a bunch of elderberry a while back. So that's the kind of stuff I use for my syrup. I don't buy it at Walmart or anything like that. Hey, Holly.
Yes, never enough time. You asked the question, what is pollen 2020 here in southeast Mississippi?
Pollen rate is high.
Pollen rate is extremely high. They, on our local news channel during pollen season, they'll put in there and their little arrow go up at different meters. Yeah, the rest of different levels of the pollen, and sometimes it says just stay in the house. But it really is just, we got a lot of, we're called the Pine Belt, a lot of pine trees, national forests that's full of pine trees. And even the oak trees and whatever, when the sap begins to rise and then it begins to dry out and it buds out, and then when the wind blows, you just see a green fog will be everywhere. And
right, Mary Beth.
That fools with our sinuses and our allergies bad. So that's why we said pollen 2020 is what we say calling it.
Yeah. I wanted to say this. We thought the cause may have been him being exposed at work. We do not know that.
No.
And we did the right thing as far as masking, gloving, sanitizing, things like that when we went out in public. And we rarely went out in public. He went to his job, and 99% of the time he came straight home. I only was going out for essentials. I think the week before I had went to grab some food supplies and pet supplies. So I'm just gonna put this out there. It's out there. All this masking and stuff, in my opinion, is not gonna stop it. So one thing I have decided I've hated about the whole thing is everybody shaming each other. It's as bad as the racism issues to me of oh my gosh, she's not wearing a mask, or oh my gosh, she's wearing gloves, or this person's doing this. It's none of your business what somebody else is doing. Do for you. Protect yourself the way you're comfortable. Don't shame somebody else, because we here did not do this. This is not a I've got the flu and I'm going to go spread it to everybody type thing. This is, to me, biological warfare. I think it came from China. I believe that. I believe the World Health Organization and some of those people in it are guilty of some things. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't shame your neighbor if they're not handling it the way you handle it or the way you want them to handle it. The isolation is bad enough. It really is.
That's the main thing. It plays a big factor, and I can't speak for everybody. I'm only speaking for myself. But I'm sure there are a lot more out there that's been through it that feels the way I do about it too. Even like now, Lord willing, everything plays good. I'm cleared to go back to work Monday. Still battling some allergies and sinus, dull headache this afternoon.
But, and that'll be like, what, 26 days in?
20 something days. And
I mean, we're way past the 14 day.
But here's the issue, is what it plays on your mind is that when you go back and when you're around somebody, you're supposed to wear your mask.
Oh, I do, Tracy.
Now, here's the deal about the mask. From research and from things that I've been told, the mask is to protect you or protect somebody else that you're around, not necessarily you. Okay? I want you to understand that. It's not to protect you that are wearing the mask, it's protect those that you're around.
Y'all may have seen when I went in Mom's room, I put on a mask, even though she's sick. That's for her protection from me. Because we don't know if we can recontaminate her. He's built antibodies, but even the doctors really are not explaining how good of a system that is for preventing him from getting it again.
And so on the mask, here's the deal on that. All right, say I wear the mask because I had contracted the virus. I had stayed home my isolation period. I have trying to recover over it. I've had all the tests done. Now I go out and wear a mask. All right, that's to protect somebody else from me. But what's going to protect me? Say the instance that
from me.
You do have antibodies built up, but they can't guarantee that you can't contract this again. So here's my deal on the mask. If I wear the mask to protect others from me, what's going to protect me from them? From those that are walking around that just because they don't show any symptoms doesn't mean they don't have it. And if they can't guarantee that I can't retract it again, then what's going to protect me? Because I'm wearing a mask. But here's the deal. If I'm the one wearing the mask, and it's sadly to say that everybody's going to look at you and say, oh, stay away from them. Get away from me. You know, oh, you've
had it.
You contaminated and you this. You know, it's just, and it's a mind thing that plays on everybody else too. Once they become aware of, hey, oh yeah, they had it. Better stay away from them. That's not something that we need to do. If we're going to do that, then when everybody's out in public, and this is just my thinking, on the mask issue, instead of singling that one out, that this one over here that's not wearing the mask, I'm wearing one to protect them, but what are they doing to protect me? As long as we're out together.
Space comes into play.
Yeah, I mean, you either take your space.
I'm with Tracy. I'm back and forth on it myself. I think for me, when I go back out in public, and that's a win. If it's going to be a larger crowd, I might, but if it's somewhere that I feel like I can keep a reasonable distance, then I'm not.
To me,
no, Tracy, Francine, and I wouldn't do that anyway. That's
yeah,
there's faults in that too.
And they tell you, you know, research has been out about wearing the mask for too long can cause sickness. Well, here's the deal.
That's right, Misty, which I know you're a nurse and you understand my thinking.
The mask part of it to me is that, like I said, you know, if I got to wear one and it's not going to protect me from them.
And you see, I'm constantly touching my face.
Let's either all wear one or let's all don't wear it.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, to me, it sounds like it's kind of contradicting itself. If I wear one, I'm trying to protect these that are out there. But I don't know who's out there that may be carrying it around and not knowing it. But I'm not protected just because I've got a mask on from them because they're not wearing one.
To do that.
That's the mind thing that I think that it plays on a lot of us. And especially that, like I said, that's been through it. There's a lot of things, and I feel like that topics like this, people getting on it like we're doing and talking about this, maybe. And I just hope maybe that it gives somebody some understanding of all this mixed up stuff that's going on out there right now. Everybody's fearful. Everybody's in you know, just
where Allison lives, it's mandated for them. For me, if I was in a place where it was constantly mandated, I think I would just go get what I absolutely had to get and get back home because I can't stand them that long. I'm more of a mouth breather and I feel suffocated. And this is Mississippi. It is extremely humid here. You can, like, if you walk outside with your mask on, it automatically you feel the condensation. It's just, it's
especially
bad.
if you wear glasses.
I mean, it gets moisture. I think it causes more harm than good.
I did not either, Gemini. I did not wear one. But since I've gone through this, I don't, like I said, I don't know if it's a mind thing. And I've always got this in the back of my head that when I go out in public or whatever, if I walk in the store, I walked in the store the other day and got gas for the first time when I was technically legal to get out past my time. Once my isolation period had ended, I had to get some fuel in my truck because I hadn't got fuel in the thing in over 2 weeks. And about 2.5 weeks.
I've still not been out.
And so I put my leather gloves on, pumped gas. I didn't used to do that. Now, whether that does any good, I don't know. Like I said, it's just a mind thing. But I never did used to do that. And went in the store, paid for my gas with my mask on, and it made me feel isolated even more. Because nobody else that I seen walking in and out of the store, they would look at you and you got this mask on, you know. I know it's becoming a more normal thing now as time goes on. More people may be wearing them or whatnot, but there's still those that don't wear them. And when you get out, and they may have been used to seeing you a few weeks prior to that, you didn't have one on. Now you got one on.
Sherry, my thing on that, on your statement, Sherry, a friend of mine, she says surgeons wear masks 6 to 8 more hours a day. They don't stay sick. Most people don't want to wear masks that say that. Well, a surgeon is in a sterile, clean environment when they're wearing that mask. So it's not like they're being introduced into tons of stuff, other than the field that they're working in. They're keeping that sterile as best as possible. I mean, you have some nosocomial infections in a hospital, but there's a whole difference, and each mask is different. The bandana things, there's these paper cloth masks like I had on a while ago, then there's the mask like I got from Olivia and Scott at Hidden Valley that's really thick and hard to breathe in for me, but cute. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of options, but it is a personal choice. And if you're more comfortable doing it, then I say do it. But I do not like the shaming of folks that don't wear it. Yes, the last time I went to Walmart and stuff, I struggled through there with the mask on. But I got the heck out of Dodge as fast as possible so I could get the mask off.
It's, like I said, it's for us, it's a mind, it's a mind thing. It plays with your mind, and overcoming it. We heard a very good friend of ours today that got admitted to the hospital that we've known for many years, around our age. And so I don't have to call any names, but I would request that y'all pray for this young lady, and that we got the news of this afternoon. And
Grandma
she's
Rose.
not doing too good.
Miss Jenny, age has a lot to do with it, and health, compromised immune system and such. And y'all know I have Graves' disease. I am compromised, even though I'm a lot healthier now than I was.
Yeah, you're right. Never enough time.
And I think that has a lot to do with your symptoms too, because there are several categories. There is the mild, the moderate, which is where we fall, the severe, and the critical. And so, I think it depends on your health and things like that as to where you fall in that. I don't think just because you get it, it's an automatic death sentence, even though your mind plays tricks on you about it.
And that's because of all the I won't say misinformation, but all the negative, of the negative information out there, and there's not enough of this going on, where somebody says, hey, look,
it's rough. We're living through it.
I've been tested to prove that I had it, and then went and had the blood test done, and this, that, and the other, that extra proves that I had it. But, it doesn't affect everybody the same way. We don't understand why it does others this way and it don't do nothing that way.
Okay, go back.
But-
Let's back up and tell them how this started and the symptoms, because I see some of them are asking what were our symptoms and how did it start?
Well, me personally, I came home, worked out a week, and I had to go that Friday morning to get my glasses. My new glasses came in, so I had to drive 30 miles to go get them. Well, all of you know, if you remember that last live stream we did before this one, I looked uncomfortable, but I'd been hurting all day that day, all down my back. I just hurting.
That was Friday 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but I hurt anyway. I've got a lot of arthritis spurs in my neck and all down my spine, so I hurt every day of my life. So I'm like, this is typical, just a worse day of hurting, is what I thought. So I went on Friday and done what I had to do, and then Saturday I just didn't really feel good, but I got out and about, out in the yard, and done different stuff and everything, and but it just didn't feel good. And then I got up Sunday, and the same way, I didn't feel too good, and so I told Anna it was about 6:30 or 7 o'clock Sunday afternoon. I said, let's check my temperature. I had never checked my temperature up to now because I thought it was just, sinus going on because
we thought it was pollen.
Yeah, we bush hogging every day and I was around it. So grass messes my allergies and my sinuses up. And so I thought that's just what that was. So, and the hurting, I thought it was, well, that's where I always be. But anyway, I checked my temperature and it was 101 point something. So I called my boss man and told him, I said, look, I just checked my temperature and I spiked the temperature. I won't be in the morning. And so.
And that was on Sunday.
That was on a Sunday, late Sunday afternoon. And so Monday morning I got up, I called my doctor's office and told them what was going on, symptoms that I'd had. And they immediately set up. Well, here's the deal. And I know Jim and I can vouch for this somewhat. They gave me to go to the emergency room of our local hospital. Do not get out of the truck. So you pull out there, and this is where everybody's going in. So there's folks that's pulling up in the parking lot, and they're getting out. Well, I get to the parking lot, I called my doctor's office back and said, hey, I'm here at the outpatient's entry, and I'm sitting in the parking lot. They said, okay, what vehicle you in, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, used to.
And so I tell them what vehicle I'm in and all that, and they said, okay, we'll be contacting you back in a minute. Stay put. Do not get out of your truck. Well, a few minutes later, they called me back. The hospital calls me back. Asked me what kind of vehicle I'm in. I go through it again, explaining what kind of vehicle I'm in. And they said, okay, stay in your vehicle, and we'll be out momentarily. Well, they come out, and they're looking around the parking lot. They're doing this. So you got to stick your arm out the window and wave to get their attention.
It just breaks all kinds of HIPAA laws,
yeah,
I'm telling you.
This is all bringing attention to you now. Everybody that's in their vehicles waiting on, because this is the entrance and the exit where physical therapy comes in and out. And there's folks coming in and out from physical therapy. And now they're seeing these two nurses out here with all this PPE on and face shields and gloved up and got these bags in their hand and whatnot and everything. And now all eyes is walking over here to this red pickup where I'm sitting at. So everybody's probably like, what in the world's going on with that? So anyway, they get over to my truck, and if you've ever, I don't know if any of y'all on here tonight has ever had this test done, but if you have, then somewhat you know what I'm talking about. They asked me the other day about tests. They said, are you willing to do it again? I said, well, yeah, if I have to. I said, she said, yeah, I heard it was rough. I said, well, I said, it ain't pleasant. But anyway, they get to me, ask me my name and a whole bunch of information and all, and they said, okay. Well, I had to demask, take my mask off.
Oh, man.
And they first brought out a shorter swab.
I hate to hear that, Rob.
And they swabbed me, both of my nostrils. Well, they put that in some vials. They bring out a longer swab. And they swab both of my nostrils with a longer one. And then they bring out an even longer swab than that, and they swab the back of my throat. So I had 3 swab tests done that morning. And so it wasn't just the one, and I was over with. No, I had 3 of them. So it was just the whole, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like, Bermuda Triangle sort of deal. All eyes is on you. People probably wonder what in the world is going on over there, you know.
In the Twilight Zone.
But both times, through the testing for the the COVID to see if I had it, and then this past Wednesday when I went back for my blood test, both times I never was allowed to get out of the truck. And once my results came back that Wednesday, I got tested on Monday and they come back Wednesday.
Mom and I did not.
They sent my prescriptions into the drugstore. And here's the deal. When I get to the drugstore, now this is all, what I'm saying, this is all how it plays on your mind of how, and I know they're taking precautions and everything, and I know they got the regulations that they have to do, but this affects the victim more than what people say it does. So when I get to the drugstore, I have to call the drugstore, tell them I'm here to pick up thus and thus prescriptions that were called in, and had to tell them that I've been tested positive for corona. I had to tell them, what truck are you sitting in? Where are you sitting at?
Hey, Lou.
Stay in your truck. And they brought out my medication with all this, like I said, once again with all this PPP on, with gloves, handed me a board. I had to sign for my prescriptions and give the lady the money. She said, I'll bring your change back to you in just a minute. But when she brought my change back and I give her that board, she made me keep the pen that I signed with. She wouldn't accept that pen back.
Isn't that crazy thing?
And that
I
pen,
mean, and they took everything else. They took his money.
So you keep the pen.
But they wouldn't let him give him the pen back.
That kind of made me feel even more isolated. Like, golly, I've got this some big something, that nobody, won't y'all just cast me outside the city and leave me out there? That's the way it made me feel. Like I said, it's all these steps, and I know that they're taking precaution, but it's the way it makes you feel. And at this time, I hadn't heard a whole lot of people that I knew or that was locally around our area would talk about it. And I think if this thing rocks on, I think there'll be more and more and more support groups that have to get together to help others. I think it would be a good thing to encourage others that may face it in the future if this stuff keeps continuing going on.
True.
I think it definitely needs to be a support group because of all, and I won't say hype, some of it may be, but the virus is real. There's no doubt about that. The virus is real. And I've never one time,
I'm glad you don't have any symptoms.
Thought about that the virus wasn't real, but I didn't know to the in-depthness of how it would affect a person that actually came down with it because nobody was talking about it. All you would do is look up the videos of this one that's in the hospital on it, or you heard this one that passed away with it, and no really reasons why. Didn't know if they were on up in age or didn't know if they had a severe underlying condition of some sort. You still don't know. You still don't know if they
said it makes you feel like a victim.
It does.
And then they make you feel like a walking enemy. And that is so true.
And you didn't have no control of this. I mean, you didn't want it.
Nobody.
And so, and I think that a group, really a support group needs to be developed somehow or another where more people can talk about this that's gone through it or going through it and they're kind of on the mends. Even those that end up
our county is a
in the hospital with it, but
still, what they're saying, but we don't know, but just a very few that actually have it.
And through all this, I got news yesterday or the day before yesterday that my dad, that's been in a nursing home, hadn't been able to see him, but the first week we put him in there, and then all this has hit, and we hadn't been able to go back up there to see him. Talked to him a couple times on the phone. He can't hear real well. Well, I found out yesterday or the day before he's tested positive for the virus. So far, they said they haven't. He hadn't showed any symptoms or anything going on. I hope it stays that way. But there again, I can't go see him. And now on top of all this that we're going through it and we're fighting it off, then you get news of your dad got it that you can't go see him. It just compiles on.
And he's put in isolation there. The nursing home here has done a great job.
Yes, they have.
For a long time, they didn't have any cases. And then a worker got sick, but she didn't know she was sick. It was an exposure thing. So it's not her fault, and then they kept her home. But by the time she knew she was exposed or sick or whatever, well, then the patients were exposed. I mean, it's just one of those vicious things. Hey, Kathy. So he's got it, asymptomatic right now, as far as we know. It's still that way. And then we've all had it, and it does mess with your head a little bit. And I'm mentally stronger about that kind of stuff than he has been, but it still has played with my head just a little bit.
Well, it's not just this. It's a lot of stress from the job. It's stress over all my dad and all this stuff hits, and it's just, like we was talking
the first week we put him in the nursing home, we got to see him, and then bam.
That's just a tremendous load that's fell on my shoulders that I can't do anything about, and it's so easy. And I seen Brother Donnie, he can vouch for it. It's so easy to tell somebody else, hey, breathe, it's gonna be all right.
Hey,
until till all that's dumped on your shoulders, you don't know how you're gonna react to it or how it's going to affect you. And I won't lie to you, I've been battling it. It's a spiritual thing too, because it's like this. You like, now Lord, I prayed about this, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and bam, you still caught it. So it affects you spiritually. So there's a lot more stuff that you got to work through, just physical, and then it hits you from the spiritual side of it too. A lot of stuff you just don't understand. And so there's a lot of avenues that it hits you. And like I said, there's not anybody that's talking like that I know of. I haven't heard anybody that's got up and discussed on how it made them feel, that's been through it. And I think, like I said, I think more of this needs to be done, and I believe it'll be a tremendous help to others if this thing continues to go on.
Kathy, she's passed the official quarantine days and the 14 days and all that. But she's sick, and one of the side effects of being in the moderate case is loss of appetite, and she's not eating. She's drinking, and I'm giving her protein shakes and supplements and all that stuff, but she's just so nauseated. And my first days 4 through 10 maybe, I was really nauseated, so I know how she's feeling. But she's okay. She handled it like a trooper. In the midst of all this, she found out her brother died. We did not find out till June the 14th that he died, May 14th. He's older, and he's in West Virginia, a whole nother state. So that was a little bit, that made for a hard day for her. We don't think he died of COVID. I think it was probably the Alzheimer's dementia or whatever he's got going on. We don't know. We just got a short, brief letter from his wife, and they're older, so she probably just forgot to tell us. I don't know. And then also our youngest daughter, who's a severe diabetic and doesn't always take care of herself, started having back pain and stuff like that. Kind of like how his started, and I told her, I said, you need to watch yourself, because she's got the little babies. You might be developing symptoms of COVID. And it just rocked on for about a week, and so she finally went to the doctor, and her sugar at the clinic was 488, I think. And the doctor told her that she was headed towards diabetic ketoacidosis. If she got any worse, she needed to get to the emergency room. They told her to flush with a gallon of water. It was supposed to be 1.5 gallons, I think, but he told her half of a gallon, an extra half a gallon could be Gatorade Zero, because she likes that. So she did all that. He told her she needed to urinate every hour, and so she's been doing that and stuff. But we've not got to be around the grandbabies, and even though we're past that time, we're not ready to do that, because we do have symptoms. We're still battling the coughing, the fatigue, and all that stuff. So we're still isolating.
That's part of it. That all this outside stuff that comes in that nobody ever thinks about how that can affect you. You're here. You're trying to recover. And you're trying to keep your mind on you recovering, but then you get to worrying about your daughter or your dad, and and all this news coming in. It can affect you in so many ways, and I don't care how strong you are, it will affect you. it will affect you up here. It starts playing mind games with you.
Yeah.
And then when you think, okay, I got a couple of days, I felt great. And then all of a sudden the third day, now why am I not feeling so good today? I thought I was over this.
Yeah, you'll have like 2 or 3 days of energy kind of back,
with
and you start getting stuff done, and you're feeling like, okay, I'm getting over this, and then you have a day like today where we both just didn't do much of anything.
What's like I told Anna, I said, you know, she said we were going to do the live tonight, and she said, I think it would be good to talk about it. I'm like, I don't know, I mean, one day you do, the next day you don't, so I don't know. But I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, well, yeah.
Hey, Jeremy.
This is good information that somebody needs to know that, hey, it's normal to feel that way, and it's possible to feel that way, because there's only so much you can Google and so much information that when you go to putting it in,
all kinds of crap
put it this way, if you Google it and say, does coronavirus, or say like, will sinus drainage last so many days after you've been tested for coronavirus? You get up there and all it does is show you symptoms. It tells you nothing about this could go on for a month.
Right.
Even after you're cleared to go back or whatever, you won't find anything to tell you specifically that this can go on, unless it's somebody like us that's getting on here saying, hey, look, I'm 20-something days in, Libby. I'm still battling sinuses, I still have a cough, some days I don't feel too well, but I'm not contagious anymore, according to the test, according to doctors. So,
and he's not running any fever in several days.
And so, haven't taken anything today.
He had it, I had it, and then Mom got it. And we're past the 14-day quarantine time, but we still have symptoms and the fatigue and the headaches and the cough. And
Gemini, you are absolutely right. That is another thing that a lot of people don't realize either. Just say one in the household that caught it, and the other caretaker that didn't. It's hard on them, especially if you isolate yourself away from them. It's hard on that caretaker too, because they're worried and they don't know, and nobody ever knows. Now, what did I miss?
All right, Mallory. Homestead Rescue has contacted Red. Have they gave you an answer, or are they coming out there to check it out? What they're gonna do? You should have marketed me this. I could have used some good news lately. That is so cool. I'm so excited.
Guys, I'm glad all y'all joined in with us to let us kind of get this off of our chest. Because, like I said, for 2 or 3 weeks now, nobody's been allowed here. And if somebody would pull up, we just have to stand at the door, had to lock the doors. When Sarah and the grandbabies would come by for something,
they came to get my truck because hers tore up.
Her vehicle tore up all this time. The babies got stranded side the road. It's pouring down rain. I'm trying to get the vehicle here. I can't go out and look at it and see what's going on at this time.
Can't go help her.
So you see what's saying? There's a lot going on, and you felt helpless. I can't do anything. I can't get out. I can't tell them. I can't check this out. I can't do that.
Gil says you can be contagious and asymptomatic 28 days after you've been given the all clear by the doctors without doing testing.
And it's very possible. That's the reason why they tell you when you go out in public to wear a mask.
Tracy, through my kitchen window, we're excited for Red at Kiss My Grass Acres. Yes. Homestead Rescue is coming to see her.
That's right. There's no really solid info out there, guys. The CDC don't know exactly.
Giggler too.
And they're doing this, and I had to fill out a bunch of paperwork. And here's the thing. When you go get tested for COVID, if it comes back positive, you will get, say like we're in Mississippi. I just take Mississippi for instance because I don't know about anywhere else, any other states. But in Mississippi, if you come up with symptoms or you have to go get tested for whatever reason.
Right, Mr. Jack.
And
it's because it is man-made and it's going to attack everybody individually in different ways.
And your test comes back positive or detected, whatever it says, which is positive. Well, State Health Board from Jackson, Mississippi, which is our capital, calls me
Jeremy, remind
And
me
here's
that.
the deal. Here's the deal, guys. And this is how serious it is. And I'm just going to say this and hope I don't get in trouble for it.
Oh.
But they give you a call.
Tracy.
In other words, when you get tested for positive for COVID, they sent a letter. They sent those same results to Jackson, Mississippi up there to the State Health Board Department. Well, they called you. They called me the next day. I had to tell them all kind of questions. I had to answer, like, what were your symptoms? And they're trying to follow up on all these different symptoms. Because if you think about it, when it first come out, what was it? A fever, a dry cough, fatigue. If you got anything else, sinus drainage, or anything else, it's likely they said you didn't have COVID-19. Well, now that everybody's come out with all these other symptoms that's coming on, so now you get more and more and more symptoms that's coming
More
on,
information.
and a little bit more information about it. And that's how they get this information through folks like me and others that go have be tested for it because of our jobs or whatever that require it. So they call me, and I give them all this information. And I tell them, I said, now look, they gave me 14 days. That's supposed to be the incubation period of it. From 2 to 14 days, you can face symptoms of this, being around somebody, start developing symptoms up from 2 to 14 days. Well, you're isolated for 14 days. I guess if you don't have any symptoms up to 14 days, then you're clear to go. Well, I told them that my doctor gave me a few extra days because they told me they wanted to make sure the infection was gone before they cleared me back to work. And so they, in other words, send another legal binding form out to you saying you're to isolate at home and you don't come off this isolating. Mine was June the 17th.
Okay, Kathy.
And that was my isolation period. I could not go anywhere. And this is how serious they take it, guys, and how it makes you feel when you get that letter saying that you cannot go anywhere in the public.
That's what we thought was wrong to start with.
Because if somebody knows that you've had that, you're under health orders to stay home. If somebody sees you out there and they know that they contracted the virus from you, mild symptoms, mild cases is $500 fine, 6 months imprisonment. More severe cases, if somebody catches it from you and you're out in public and supposed to be at home on those health orders and they pass away with it, it's $5,000 in years imprisonment.
It's
that's
like
how
domestic
serious
terrorism.
That's how serious that they take this, guys. And
Jeremy, his treatment, he chose to go the medical route. He went and got tested and all that stuff, and he did the hydroxychloroquine, azithromycin, zinc, and vitamin C.
Well, not all doctors prescribe the same thing for everybody.
Okay, but he asked what you took.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So, and what I did for Mom and I, which I didn't do for her part of it because she couldn't take it, but for myself, I did homemade elderberry syrup, and I mean, I drank it like, it makes up 2 pints, and I probably drank a pint in the first couple days. Fire cider. I used high potency vitamin C that I already had in a powder form. It's ascorbic acid. It's like 1,200 milligrams per quarter teaspoon. I took a teaspoon of that every day. I took zinc, quinine, vitamin D3, and colloidal silver throat spray. And then I did aspirin and Tylenol alternating for the fevers and the headaches. Nothing touches the headaches. I'm just to tell you. The headaches in those worst days was crazy. Nothing would touch them. It was just, and we're still in headaches, but not as severe.
Yeah, that they didn't hand me a prescription. They wouldn't do all that. They called it in.
Will.
When I went and got tested, the reason I did it was for my job purposes. My job requires it.
Sorry.
And so whenever I told them, that I'd spiked the fever and all that, my job automatically requires I go get tested or go see the doctor and go from there. Well, that Monday when I went to get tested, you got 3 to 4 days for test results to get back. Well, I had to get an excuse, so I asked the emergency room because I did everything through the emergency room. And I said, well, do I get a work excuse from here? And they did a chest x-ray that morning too. Same day I got tested, did a chest x-ray. And so I had to go through all that deal, checking my temperature outside the emergency room and all that, and go in and sit down and tell them what I got to have, then go around with my mask on and all that to get a chest x-ray done. Anyway, I said, no, that's going to be through your physician. So I had to call my doctor and tell him, look, I need a work excuse until I get these results back. Well, our fax machine has been down at our office, so they can't fax nothing over there. I said, I can't get the fax over there. So I gotta have an excuse. What am I gonna do? And they said, well, pull up under the pavilion at the doctor's offices. So I told them, I said, I'm here in the parking lot, I'm pulling on the pavilion right now. I mean, this is all like CIA stuff. I mean, boy, it's top secret. I mean,
I'm drug dealing.
You think you're being treated special, but really it makes it the other way around. So here I am. There's people standing out over here in the parking lot at the doctor's office. I'm pulling on this video, got my mask on. And so here comes the nurse outside, and she walks around my truck. Instead of handing it to me on the passenger side, I rolled the window down on the passenger side. Instead of doing that, she come all the way around to the driver's side, and I know her real well. And I have my mask on and all that. And she yeah, and hand me my excuse. And away. But I just thought about that, and I was like, daggum, I mean, I got everything but the bodyguards just supposed to be around me. So it's just a different experience, and that you can't explain. That's just one of them things that I would tell you'd have to experience yourself, but I hope you never have to.
Right.
Sort of thing. But it's just weird. And like I said, my doctor, I didn't ask him what he was going to put me on. When he called in a prescription, I got back with it. And well, I knew I didn't ask.
You know me.
He did. He had me on, well, when I went and got tested, he went ahead and started me on a Z-Pack and vitamin C and zinc. It was 250 milligrams of Z-Pack. But then when I come back positive, he called in more vitamin C, more zinc, hydroxychloroquine, and then plus I went another round of Z-Pack for 500 milligrams that time. So, and like I said, some of the other guys that I work with, they contracted it too, and they was like, well, my doctor didn't prescribe that. So different doctors treat it differently. I can't explain that one, but that's the route that mine took. And I guess it helped. I don't know.
I would say it helped. You're alive.
Between all that and the good Lord's mercy and grace. And I know Anna's reminded me several times. That's kind of funny that Anna reminds me, but she has sometimes. She said, it could be worse. And I'm like, I know that. I know it could be.
It's part of that mind thing.
But
I mean,
I'm like,
he really has.
why does it have to
really
be as bad as it
him.
is? So it could be worse, but I don't understand why it has to be as bad as it is. So it's just one of them mind things that it messes with you. And like I said, I firmly believe that there need to be more speaking out about it, that folks that have experienced it, that would encourage others. I don't know how to do that other than doing like what we're doing. If you know anybody that you know of that needs to talk to somebody, get in contact with me and Anna One, and we'll give you our number, and they can talk. We can talk about it. If that would help them, I would be more than glad to sit down and talk with somebody about it. It does me good to have somebody else to talk to about it than one that's in the household we just going through it too, and they don't have no more understanding about it than you do.
I think the difference in what he did and I did, there wasn't a whole lot of difference, because he would go through things first, and then I just kind of watched, because I knew 2 days later I was going to go through the same thing, and it kind of went that way. He had a few symptoms that I did not have. The stomach issues and stuff, I didn't have that. He completely lost his taste and smell.
Yes, I did.
I lost smell, but not taste, and it was only just temporary.
And this is what's weird about the taste and the smell. And
Right, Red.
because now I'm beginning to see more and more when I Google it about the symptoms. But at one time it was just the smell. It wasn't really the taste that left people.
Allison, that's how Lippy was.
And I got a buddy that right now, as far as I know today, he's about 3 weeks in, and he still hadn't got his taste and smell back.
Yeah, it's different.
And they told him that
Yeah, Springfield Ridge is fixing to go live, so is VW, and then Pete and Gil and Homestead and PoorBoy. We've got a big lineup, and we don't want to jump in on their time. And I need to go mod some for VW because I usually put all their links out for them. But we just wanted to talk and let y'all know.
Guys, I know it hasn't been much.
And let y'all see that we are okay. I mean, there were some days that we looked really rough. I think day 9 for me.
I still look rough, but,
you know, man, it's bad.
I look rough every day of my life.
9 through 11 was horrible, I think, or 9 through 13.
I look rough on a good day, but anyway, appreciate you guys joining in this night.
Donna, I would tell you stay out of the public. Let Lindsay go get your stuff.
If
just
you
because
don't,
of me knowing you.
It's not, and I wouldn't say this and telling you as far as fear goes. It's not about fear, but if you severely, and you don't have to get out, don't.
Right.
I mean, if you don't have to, just don't do it. Now, if you got to, or if you choose to, then that's ultimately your choice too as well. But if you don't have to, then don't.
We couldn't wait till this quarantine was over. We wanted to be free, and now we're like, we don't want to go out.
Yeah. I was like, God, Lord, sitting here
we have to go get a few things.
Don't know where, can't do nothing. And like today, I could have went where I wanted to, but
you don't want to.
You do and you don't. You know, he's like.
You're afraid of getting exposed again because you don't know if you can get it again. You don't want to expose anybody else, and you don't want folks looking at you like you're a freaking boy. Of course, they probably do that anyway. I mean, that's just me.
I went one time, and that was to go have the antibody test done, and so.
Love you, Miss Carolyn.
It was kind of awkward. But I do want to say, guys, appreciate y'all, all the moderators, appreciate y'all coming in and listening to us talk about this tonight. It done me a lot of good to just be able to talk about it and know that there's somebody out there that's listening, you know, than to just sit here and meditate on it all the time.
Virtual homestead hug, honey.
So, and I will say this, if nothing else come out of this, far spiritual or whatever, guys, if you're sitting there and you're going through a battle, find somebody that you trust and that you can count on and call them and talk to them.
Tanya, he did.
Because
he had
if
the
you
antibody
don't,
test, got the results yesterday? Today.
I called today.
That's another thing. You get brain fog and you lose your track of time.
Well, my doctor's excuse went through Sunday, but we don't go back to work till Monday, so I was cleared through tomorrow, my doctor's excuse.
His doctor gave him an extra week because they wanted to make sure infections were gone. And so a lot of doctors aren't doing that.
I had to call and make sure and go get this test done. If not, if I hadn't heard the results before Monday, I would have to wait until I got the results before I go back to work. So if it was going to be Monday, I was going to have to get them to send another doctor's excuse for Monday or whenever, or Tuesday, to get the results back. But I got them back today, and they said you're good to go. So Lord willing, nothing else happens between now and Monday morning, I guess I'll report back to the job. It's still going to kind of be a little awkward. But anyway, we'll get through it. It's a slowly going thing, like anything else. But I want to say I appreciate you guys, like I said, for listening to us. And I know it hadn't been much about gardening or at all.
Oh, my garden's at pot.
But
I'm actually starting to rip out.
You can kind of see a corner of the table sitting over here.
I can show it.
Probably to my left, but whatever. It is full of tomatoes that's trying to ripe, y'all.
I had to pull them early because of that tropical storm.
But
and
so, and then
I learned how to make a green salsa thanks to Brenda at Duncan 1900.
We got so much rain too that the plants started diseasing up because of all the water.
Yeah, everything.
And so she decided to pick them and go ahead and let them ripen in here. But anyway, like I said, guys, we appreciate y'all listening to us.
Tanya, we still have residual symptoms, so we're nervous about it.
Yeah, because you don't know. I
mean, we've been free from the state health department to move out and go do things, but we're not.
I mean, I'm not unless I have to go somewhere, then I'm gonna go. But if I don't have to, then give it a few more days. I mean, if I don't have to go anywhere, so it's a good thing to know now that if you
Freaky as tomatoes.
if you do have to go somewhere, you can. But if you don't, if it's not a necessity to do it right now, then hey, what's another day or two? You know what I'm saying?
Y'all get out in the sunshine and enjoy it. I don't know if that, vitamin D3, real, all that, but you need the fresh air and you need it for mental clarity. Turn off the TV, turn off all the
Yeah, I was going to be something else that I was
social media
up.
that'll make you crazy.
They said that folks, to coping with this stuff, one of the main things was turn off the TV that's talking about the COVID-19. Get off your mind. Turn it off. Go outside. Do something if you feel up to it. Just get your mind. That you ain't just sitting there watching it and bringing more anxiety upon you.
I'm gonna get me a t-shirt.
And everything. So
it's gonna be a black t-shirt with big white letters that says hashtag I survived Rona, riots, and rumors. All right, I got to go help VW. Y'all have a great night. I don't know that we're gonna do anything Sunday.
No, I don't know yet. It's just going how I'm feeling, but like I said, guys, can't say enough about y'all tuning in tonight and listening to us go on and on and on. I hope something's been said that maybe gave y'all some insight on this stuff. That and like I said, I want to reiterate this again. If you know somebody out there that's going through it, and they want to talk about it, or they need somebody to talk about it that's going through it too, hey, by all means, contact us and we'll figure out something.
Yeah, my email is in the about page.
I don't know if we can help one another out, but hey, at least we can tell somebody else, hey, I know how you feel. I know how, somebody says, well, it makes me feel like a victim, and I don't know if that's common or not. I can tell you, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, that a lot of people, the information's not out there on, and those that are isolated at home going through this and fighting this virus that you don't have access to.
Unless and there are no definite answers. Hey, Howie.
Unless somebody's willing to open up about it and tell you, hey, look, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Just like Denise, at Gemini, like when they hand you that prescription, it makes you feel like a victim. She knows because she's been through that. Yeah. And so it's just good to help others going through it too.
Right. Okay, y'all.
But appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
I'm winded now. Y'all have a great night. Keep us in your prayers. We'll be praying for y'all too.
Yes, and God bless y'all.
Ooh.